Sixth overall outdoors this year, your first full outdoor seasons in 10 years. Now that it's over, like, 6 is great, right? But just tell us about your season, how you feel about getting it done, coming out of it healthy. Are you glad you did it?
Yeah, no, actually, I'm glad I did it, and more so is I had fun, going into doing the whole outdoor season and doing it, and more so I say I had more fun was because like seeing the fans and stuff, and a lot of fans that I haven't seen, being in different like atmosphere. It's always that I'm so used to racing it, typical around 8:30, 9 o'clock at night and stuff like that under the lights in the stadium, out of stadium, whatever, but. It's just good to have that quick change, and I didn't realize how fast-paced outdoors is. I mean, you get there, you show up, you're there at 7 a.m. in the morning, and next thing you know, you're done at 4 or 5 o'clock, and you're on your way to the head of the airport or whatever. It's like it's just such a fast pace and so different. But again, back to circle on that, as like I think the fans part was more for me just to get that enjoyment and seeing different fans and the welcome back Mookie and stuff like that. I thought that was awesome.
Yeah, we know your training partner, Aaron Plessinger, is probably a fan favorite, right? But I think the fans were equally as excited to have you back this season. I heard that a lot from people. Just so great to see Malcolm back. It's so exciting. It's been so long.
Yeah, no, it was great. It was great. And I mein, I ain't gonna lie, there was a few races that I was like, dude, I'm hurt pretty bad after the second moto, cramping up, I was like, I don't miss them stomach cramps at all, dude, leaving the track. But for the most part, like it wasn't like super, super hot. If it did get hot, most of the time it got hot at the second moto, but like, a lot of the riders are talking like Southwick last year was like brutally hot, and this year was actually pretty cloud cover. So I'm like, I'll take this one. But for the most part, everything was going fairly well. Then ended up P6 overall in the outdoor points. That's great, and getting away healthy. And then next, we do these super motocross to try to recoup some of that money.
Yeah,
that we spent all season long, so hopefully we break even.
Honestly, now that it's over, what your actual honest goals were coming into the season? Did you meet your goals? And do you feel, even if you didn't necessarily meet your goals, did you feel the outdoor season was a success?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wanted at least my goal was I was like, dude, I gotta have I would love to have at least one top 5 at least,
Okay.
I was like, we're so, and not even in a way of just more so of try to set the bar as as a reasonable, and don't get me wrong, those front runners, those guys are rolling, what I mean? But at the same time, I was like, I feel like any given day, there could be a possible opportunity where I could be there, but everything's just got to work itself out, because I feel like sometimes if you set the bar way too high, and I'm just being real with myself and some other riders, you set the bar too high and you never achieve it, you just kind of give up on the little things that could happen, right? And I felt like if I get to this stage, I can all right, I got here, now I can work to the next goal. Well, if you always just say, I want to win a race, win, and then now you don't even get the podium, now you're just like, okay, well, what am I going to settle for?
Let's jump ahead. We are jumping ahead 8-9 months. You're on the same team. What's the goal next year outdoors? What do you need to do to make the next step to, let's say, get a podium and 4 or 5 top 5s? What's that next step?
I think I would like to at least start being more consistent on the top 5. And once I start getting more of those, I think podiums will come right after that, because I feel that a guy that's consistently top 5 will get podium.
But how do we do that? What's the step to get there?
Well, first we gotta come out the gate. We gotta at least see. Yeah. I mean, I ain't gonna sit here and lie, man. I ain't no chase section. I ain't just gonna come from the back, man. I ain't got it like that. But I mean, that was one hell of a ride by the guy. But we got to start up front. We want to be up there, and that's obviously the main goal.
Yeah. Plus the getting ready for that pressure of riding for the purse that you guys are. That money talks, man.
Dude, I know, and it's it sucks to say, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I honestly feel like it's a phenomenal opportunity for everybody to make money, but I also feel like there should be more to than just one round at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like there should be one that's like, I feel like there should be three. And just like maybe one, you know, in the outdoor somewhere, one Supercross, and then you have one in the end, you know, where there's an opportunity. So not just, you know, one, but I feel like, man, there's so much money on the line that it can get nasty. It can get real nasty, and some hurt feelings are probably going to be at the end of it. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, of course. This will be our first one. So, I mean, of course, I can give you how I truly feel at the end of it. But
Yeah.
I just know that I'm going to give it everything I got. So, because I got some gas money I need to you know, maintain for the off season. You feel me? I think the toughest one for me was Millville. Millville was always a pretty. I couldn't stay off the ground, dude. I couldn't stay. I don't know what it was, what monster wanted. I don't know if he was still. I don't know if he's still alive or not. But that boy was coming out and he was trying to get me. I don't know what it was, dude. Like I crashed like 3 times. Like I crashed 3 times in 2 laps, and I was like, dang it, dude. Like what is going on? And but dude, and then it started raining, so that didn't help.
Yeah, right.
So I was like, dude, I just need to get off the track, bud. I just need to get out of this race and go home. But I would say that one was a pretty tough one. And then I had one that was like, I was absolutely by myself to the point where I was like, and it was, I remember it was at where was this track at? Mount Morris. It rained that morning or last night or whatever, and it was a pretty ruddy track, and you know, typical like Mount Morris, it's always pretty gnarly there. And anyways, I was rounding around like 7th or 8th by myself, dude, and like it was to a point where I felt like the race was like 3 hours long. I couldn't see my pit board. I missed the halfway somehow, and I was literally like in no man's land. Like didn't know what was going on and didn't know who was behind me. But I mean, thankfully it was a pretty big enough gap. But I didn't know who was who. Right. So that was like the only one. I was like, the race was sick, but you know, it was an easy. You know, I would say nothing's easy, but like it was like a set. I think I got 7th, but it was like I come off the track and I wasn't even like huffing and puffing because like I was by myself the whole time. I didn't know who was. Couldn't see nobody. There was, and you know, everybody knows Mount Morris is like, it's not a track where if you lose a rider, like they're far enough ahead of you, you ain't seeing them no more. Like they're gone. Like so, nice. But yeah, that was that. But I guess I would say the highlight, I guess for me was Budds Creek. I would say Budds Creek was great motivation. It was fun. I had a good battle. I mean, dude, honestly, but like besides like Millville, I would say I had a lot of like fun ones. Like they were like fun times. Like I had a lot of great time being at the races and riding and in the racing part of it. I had for the most part, like this is probably, at least I can say, remember I haven't had too many outdoor seasons in my career, but this is probably one of the ones that I could say I had the most fun.
Yeah, Malcolm, was there any points in the after one of the motos where you and Christian just kind of looked at each other and was like, oh man, we're getting old, kind of thing?
Iron Man, dude. The second moto Iron Man, buddy. I thought I was like, I don't know if I can keep doing this one because this was pretty hot. I was pretty hot. I never forget. I have a mechanic on the back, and he, dude, I was so hot. He put the water on me, and I was like, I didn't even feel it. Like it was like I was past hot, you know. But that's that hair that was kicking in. The hair is trying to tell me you need to cut it, but I ain't gonna. I'm too stubborn. I ain't cutting it, dude.
I hear you.
So I done made it this far through the whole season. I ain't cutting it. I ain't cutting it on the last one.
Usually people ask you what's the best advice you got, blah, blah. I want to know what's the worst advice Big James has given you.
Oh, worst advice? As a father, sorry, that's my dog.
Right.
As a father, he hasn't really given me any crazy advice. In the time, he hasn't really given me anything bad. In I would say, but actually, you know what? I mean, he tricked me a lot. I never forget the little square batteries when you used to put your tongue on it. Hey, that's the worst thing he's probably ever done to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's probably like the worst thing he's ever done to me. Besides that and some ass whoopings, but that was probably like the worst. Not cool. Lost a little trust in my father, you know, whenever I put my tongue against the square battery. But yeah, other than that, that wasn't cool. He lost some brownie points with me on that one.
That's awesome.